Good afternoon and welcome to Loughborough University Netball Centre here at Loughborough University for today's NBL Division 1 action. The hometown Loughborough Riders will be hosting visiting Bradford Dragons today in what promises to be an exciting affair if their last matchup is anything to go by. Two teams with similar in-season records, teams playing 6-8 and 6-9 in the season, but on recent differing form trajectories. Riders coming in having won at 4 of the last 5 games. Bradford Dragons having lost 4 of their last 5 games. But last time they met, back on February 13th, we had a 1-point game in favour of Bradford Dragons, taking that one 80 points to 79 at their temporary home up in Nottingham. So if that game is anything to go by, we're going to get another fantastic, exciting game this afternoon. My name is Greg Ellis and I'll be guiding you through today's action, and today I am joined by Leicester Riders Foundation and Junior National League coach Don McDonough. Welcome, Don.
Hi Greg, thanks for having me. An exciting game we've got for us this afternoon, as you said, between the Loughborough Riders and the Bradford Dragons. Excited to see what both teams bring to the floor this afternoon, and hopefully we're in for a great basketball game.
Yeah, absolutely, lots of talent on the floor from both sides today. Loughborough welcoming back Carl Natifo. Seems to have missed a lot of basketball this season, so fantastic for him to suit up in the purple once again. A great athlete, an operator around the basket for Loughborough. Really excited to see him getting going in what has been a bit of a broken season with him with injuries.
Yeah, only been able to play 8 of the games for Loughborough Riders this season, but obviously coming back into the squad today, hopefully he'll find some form and be able to get himself going for the remainder of the season.
Absolutely. And the two leading scorers for Bradford Dragons coming to this game, great Ozabor and Ricky Fetsky, and the latter having played 1 season in the BBL with Leeds Force. It's interesting to see how they operating at 15.8 and 16 points a game. I think if Loughborough are looking to take the victory today, it'd be important that they look after those guys and try and get them, away from their preferred spots on the court.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for a player of that calibre and seniority in this squad, he'll be a pivotal force for them, and it'll be interesting to see if he can bring some of that experience against this fairly young Loughborough Riders team, and see if he can use some tricks that he's picked up over his years playing.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing you said about the Loughborough team, it is their youth, and I guess their exuberance. Only 3 guys on the squad over 21 years of age, and they're an important 3. Kyle Jimenez, Harrison Gamble and Jonas Diederick, a pivotal 3 players for Loughborough, and we expect to see lots of those guys today.
Yeah, absolutely. We know the matchup problem that Harrison Gamble particularly poses for opposition teams. His ability to go back to basket but also stretch the floor and shoot from outside causes numerous problems, and we've seen when he hasn't been in the squad, Loughborough have really relied on Jonas Dietrich and Carl Jimenez. So having all 3 of them in the squad, along with the firepower of Greg Wild, Victor Nduku and others coming off the bench, they're a problematic team to match up with.
Absolutely. I think Loughborough built around those 3 guys, but what has been or seen that their success and their form increase in the recent few months has been the performance of the other guys, not just those 3. As you've mentioned, Greg Wild stepping up, Victor Nduku stepping up, Dwayne Arija, CJ Hayden, all providing some great performance for the guys, and that's what's getting them the wins. They've had some fantastic wins recently, winning away at the likes of Reading and beating home games with Oakland Wolves, and narrowly losing to Hemel Storm, who are a very strong side at this level. So it'll be interesting to see how we get on today. Both teams getting ready to get that game underway. Riders will be starting with Kyle Jimenez, CJ Hayden, Dwayne Arija, Harrison Gamble and Jonas Diederick. Bradford Dragons will be starting with Walsh, Lakudis, Lang, Fetsky and Sulks. And don't forget, if you are watching this on YouTube today, that you can get involved in the comments. Give us a shout out, tell us where you're watching from. We'll try and get you involved throughout the game.
Yeah, players just making their way onto the floor now, getting ready for tip-off. An exciting one, hopefully, here at the Netball Centre in Loughborough.
Absolutely. I think both teams will be thinking back to the previous game. Loughborough determined to turn that around, as both sides take the knee here to show there's no place in basketball, sport or the greater world for racism. And the players showing that support for that as we get ready to go. Will be Harrison jumping against Fetsky to see who can get first possession of the ball game. Fetsky winning the tip. Lykudis eventually starting the offense for the Dragons. Walsh under pressure from Jonas. And Sooks. Ball movement returns it to Lykudis. Walsh puts it up. Shot is short, but rebounded Dragons.
Yeah, failure to box out there from Loughborough Riders early on led to the second shot for Bradford, but they couldn't get it to drop from outside.
Yeah, Loughborough probably a little bit fortunate there not to be punished by Fetsky in the corner.
Looks like Bradford are going to a zone early here. Let's see what Loughborough do to try and break it down.
Harrison pass to Jonas is tipped away, but it will stay with the Riders. Jonas looking to exploit the zone with a weak side cut. Ariza to inbound for the Riders. Finds Gamble. Sees him at the top of the key.
Only 3 on the shot clock. Ooh.
Foul is called. Basket will not count, but it will get Loughborough a fresh 14.
Yeah, referee just signalling that the foul came. Contact on the floor on the dribble there before the shooting motion had began for Carl Jimenez.
Gives Loughborough a second sideline possession. Jimenez off the high screen from Hayden. Ball finds its way to Jonas in the corner. Loses the handle, taken away by Walsh. Push forward to Lang, who drops off. And Bradford get us going. First points of the game for Lykudis.
Yeah, great trail transition there. He knew he was open, teammate found him, and that was a rhythm shot for him from the outside there, knocking it down for 3.
Sulks works around Hayden, able to tip it, but his last touch by Ryder's hand, so will be Bradford ball.
Yeah, both teams early on moving the ball well, but struggling to get it inside the paint. We'll see how that develops over this first quarter.
Feels so far a little bit like a big boxing fight. Both teams seem to be just feeling each other out a little bit rather than taking any big swings at each other. But we'll see how that progresses. As Bradford Dragons with Lang. Stops, pops, finds the back of the ring. Loughborough fortunate not to give up another offensive rebound as Jimenez comes away. Gamble. Pass his defender. Kick out, finds Arija. Ball movement, fouls Jimenez. Tries to drop off to Hayden, but it's knocked away by a Dragon, so we'll stay with the Riders.
Yeah, some beautiful penetrating kick basketball there from the Loughborough Riders. Some great ball movement, but they're still struggling to get some open looks at the basket early on.
Yeah, Loughborough want to get the offense going soon. Almost played 2 minutes with no score on the clock, on the board. Jimenez spins. Rebound is tipped to Arija. Puts it up from the mid-range, uncontested. Dwayne Arija hits for 2, gets Loughborough going.
As you say, Greg, I think this game's still finding its pace. I think Loughborough would like to be playing a little bit faster, but Bradford Dragons doing a good job of slowing the pace here, and clearly they think that's going to be their advantage today.
Yeah, maybe as the older side that they fancy themselves in the half-court game as Walsh pulls up for 2.
Yeah, beautiful action there. Comes off the screen, pulls the mid-range jumper from around the free throw line area, and that looked sweet. That looked rhythm. He looked like he could be doing that all day.
Hand off from Gamble to Jimenez. Gets deep in the Dragons' defence, but loses the ball. The Dragons' ball. Loughborough attempting to run their sets. Not having much joy with it so far.
Loughborough presenting in a press here on this baseline possession.
Lykudis establishing the offense for the Dragons. Fetsky.
I like those calls from Mark Jaram on the bench there, just to switch up the defence every so often, make the opposition really think.
Lang with a great fast, finds Fetsky underneath. Yeah, just to try and change what Bradford are doing. And we'll see Coach Jaram going to his bench. See a couple of subs getting ready to enter the fray. Diderot. Gamble. Jimenez gets another high ball screen, gets all the way inside, kick out, finds Jonas. Unlike Jonas to miss that one.
Yeah, that was a great look and a good shot. I think the coaching staff will be happy with him taking that again. It was just a little bit unfortunate.
Great fast from Jonas Diderot. Finds Harrison Gamble at the basket, finishing for 2.
Yeah, beautiful pass there from Jonas. Harrison cutting inside, using that length, easy score for 2.
Silk's not able to get it to go for Bradford. Jimenez coming away with the ball.
Yeah.
Ball movement again from Loughborough. Jonas spins. Silks takes it away, able to strip the ball from Jimenez. Eurostep trying to scoop, finish underneath his man, not able to get it to go.
Game a bit back up and down right now. Both teams, let's see which one can take control.
Arija strikes for 3, tying the ball game up. Quick 5 points here for Dwayne Arija. Gets Loughborough tied up here at 7 apiece. 5:43 left in this first quarter.
Yeah, Loughborough will be really happy with that shot drop in there. Great to see Dwayne getting going early.
Silks with an unorthodox, I think, half spin move. Gets himself to basket, finishes for 2.
Yeah, Bradford Dragons playing with some great composure at the moment. They seem to be getting to the spot that they want to take the shot from. They've been a bit unlucky with a couple at the basket early on, but promising stuff for them. Obviously, Loughborough Riders would like to force them outside a bit more, I would imagine.
Fetsky. Shot is short.
Good contest there from CJ Hayden on that perimeter shot.
Yeah, just as the man inside him, Arija grabbed the rebound, which he did. Gamble goes to basket. Drops off to Hayden, right under the basket. Ball will stay with the Riders as it's last touched by a Dragon. Riders making a triple switch. We'll see Carl Natifo, Greg Wild and Joe Belak all check in. Arija, Hayden and Diderik all getting a rest. Dragons also making a switch, which we'll see Regent Bascom check in, replacing David Walsh.
Yeah, as you were saying before the game, Greg, we've just seen some of these other guys for Loughborough sub in, the likes of Greg Wild, Joe shooting already and knocking it down for 3. There you go. Takes him nothing to get going. First touch of the ball and 3 points on the board.
An instant impact off the bench for Joe Belak. Gets Loughborough their first lead of the ball game.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't lack confidence shooting the ball from outside, and that shows you why.
Shot is no good for Lang. Greg Wild. Attack in the middle. Can't get the shot to go, but will head to the basket for 2 free throws. Greg Wild, almost a little bit old school in the way he plays, loves to attack the middle, doesn't want to just settle for the 3-point shot every time, and when that happens, you are going to get on the foul line.
Yeah, I think Greg's game is very mature for his age and a little bit deceptive, as you say. With that kind of old school, he definitely can shoot the ball from outside, so players do have to close him down on the perimeter. But as you say, he's got the ability to put it on the floor, attack their front foot and get that contact inside. And as we see there, he's converted from the free throw line.
Absolutely punishes Bradford there. Gets Loughborough lead up to 3 points early in this ball game. Regent Bascom looking to feed Lang inside, trying to take advantage of the mismatch he feels he's got with Greg Wild, but Natifo helping down. Snuffs that out.
Some great defense from Loughborough Riders, doubling down from the wing.
Tough 3-point shot for Lakudis, gets it tied back up. I think an example of what we're going to see all get day, a back and forth game between these two teams that are well matched up. Belak working hard but not able to grab the rebound as it eventually falls to Regent Bascom, and ball is almost immediately turned over by Bradford. Campbell reads the pass.
Neither team scared of shooting the ball in transition here.
Latifo working hard on the offensive glass, grabs the rebound and then can't go up due to the foul, so we'll head to the line for 2 shots. Foul is called on Ryharth Sulks for Bradford Dragons, who make a switch. We'll see Elijah Walsh check into the game, replacing Jermaine Lang.
Yeah, as a coach, you have to be very happy with the effort there on the offensive glass. He's crashed the boards aggressively, he's secured the ball, and as he's gone up, he's drawn the contact there to put himself in an opportunity to earn some points from the line.
And see if it does make the first. For the first time, the game almost felt a little bit frantic as going up and down, teams not able to score and execute, made the tempo had naturally increased. Latifo able to get inside off his offensive glass work and rewarded with the 2 points from the line. Lakudis. Sulks. Fesky puts it up, wide open. Little long. Rebounded Gamble. He wants Jimenez to run the offense, finds Wild, gives him go. Ball movement finds Gamble. And then Greg Wild.
Some great ball movement there from Riders. They're unlucky for that shot not to drop. I thought Harrison Gamble was actually going to shoot it myself after the extra pass from the corner, but unselfishly he made the additional pass again. Unfortunately, Greg Wild couldn't get it to drop from the right wing there.
Yeah, great extra man, extra pass action. Bradford Dragons will count the 2 from Loughborough and head to the line for one more. Foul will be called on Carl Natifo. Probably just trying to challenge the shot a little too aggressively.
Yeah, a little bit late. I think he got caught on the hip of the player attacking the basket there, and offensive player managed to sneak it in off the window, but drew the contact as well and gets a chance for and one.
Both teams making switches. 2 young operators stepping onto the floor. Victor Nduku for Loughborough and Gray Ozabor for Bradford Dragons. Kudi's not able to finish the 3-point play. Jimenez grabbing a rebound, because of course he leads that stat for his team as well.
Yeah, for a guard, his rebounding ability is extremely impressive, but picking up the easy ones off a missed free throw always helps.
Belak, another 3-point shot. Probably the best performing offensive player of the game so far, Joe Belak. As Osborne attacks hard in the middle, is rewarded with a foul. Head to the line for 2 shots.
Yeah, as you say, Greg, he's already come on, contributed 2 3-pointers in, I believe, less than 2 minutes game time. So some great production off the bench there for Joe.
Osborne, in a similar way, trying to be active off the bench, getting straight to the line, straight into the action. Gets the first one to go.
Yeah, one of Bradford's youngest players here, but also one of their biggest. So it'll be interesting to see how he tries to use his physicality versus a little bit of experience, perhaps, when he's matching up against some older players inside.
Absolutely. Only 18 years of age. Wild. Sizing his man up. Jimenez. Finds Belak. Attack in the middle. Gets it up. Nduku comes down with it. Foul is called. Let's see which way this is going. On 4, Joe Belak for Loughborough, so it will be Bradford Dragons ball. 100% sure. It looked a little bit 50-50 there for me, but the ref is a lot closer to the action than I.
Yeah, absolutely, Greg. I thought it was a 50-50 ball as well, but as you say, the referee was stood right there and clearly thought that possession had been gained and that a swipe maybe occurred on the hand in an attempt to play the ball. But again, that shows the tenacity and desire from Joe, really attacking the offensive balls in these loose balls, that I think giving away that foul at this stage in the game, no team foul trouble for Loughborough. Coach Mark Jarram won't mind too much.
Great shot, 3-point made by Loughborough. Really leading from the front from Bradford so far today. Gets Bradford back up 1:40 left to play here early. Jimenez looking to go to the basket, gets all the way. Finishes off the glass for 2. Smart play from Jimenez. Used the role of Natifo just to keep the defense away from him a little bit. They couldn't fully gamble on him and enabled him to get to the basket when he saw that uncertainty. Akudis slows it down. Wonderful fast finds Elijah Walsh in the corner. Replies for 3.
That was a great pass, it has to be said, Greg. He attacked the man off the dribble, saw the man on the help turn his head, the back of his head rather, to his man in the corner, and he found that open player. He knocks it down.
Jimenez replies 3 of his own. From going from a slow start, it's suddenly bang bang at the offensive end for both teams.
Yeah, these last 2 minutes the game has really picked up some pace. Sort of, one pass, one shot offense has occurred the last few times down the floor for both teams.
Elijah Walsh getting deep, can't get it to go over Natifo. Nduku will grab the rebound. Jimenez across the half-court line.
Potentially a 2-for-1 opportunity here for Loughborough Riders.
Wild. In and out dribble. Slings the ball to Natifo. Steps back, puts it up. And the shot clock is switched off for Bradford, but lose the ball.
Costly turnover there, really, for this stage in the first quarter. They had an opportunity to use the entire shot clock and take the last shot of the quarter, but a sloppy pass in the back court means that Loughborough now have that opportunity with 14 on the clock. and 19 on the game clock. 14 on the shot clock, sorry.
Yeah, Loughborough can take it most of the way down. Bradford will still have some time left. Got to be a frustrating turnover for Coach Miller. They'd got the ball, they'd got the stop, and then they pretty much just threw it away. And Dooku rims out. Bradford with 3 seconds left to get a shot up. Elijah Wolf lets it fly on the run. Drop falls short. At the end of the first quarter, we've got a tight one as we thought we would. Your Loughborough Riders currently leading 22. Bradford Dragons 21. And I guess, Dom, what are your first quarter takeaways for what we've seen so far?
Yeah, competitive first quarter as we were expecting, Greg. Both teams kind of feeling each other out early in the quarter. The game looked like it was kind of ebbing and flowing to find its pace, and then an explosion in the last about 2 minutes of the quarter in terms of pace up and down the floor. Neither team shy to shoot the ball from outside early on. And as we know, in the modern game, the three-point shot is incredibly important. Bradford, capitalised with a couple of great ones, and as did Loughborough, which is why the game is so close. So a great first quarter. I'll be interested to see how the game progresses in terms of the pace. I would think that Loughborough Riders would like to keep the tempo quite high. I think it suits their style of play and perhaps their youth. But we'll have to wait and see, because Bradford's defense done a good job forcing them through the actions and not allowing those early shots in the offense all the time. So we'll have to wait and see how this game unveils, but a great first quarter of action there, and as you say, a 1-point game headed into the second quarter.
Yeah, and I think interesting to see how the points have been scored for both teams. Lykoudis very much leading for the front from Bradford Dragons, 11 points personal, leading all scorers in the game. And it feels like Bradford have lent on him early in this ball game, whereas Loughborough, led by Joe Bailey, with 6, but have a couple of other guys on 5 in Dwayne Arija and Carl Jimenez, so very much doing it by committee. So we'll see if Bradford can get a few more of their offensive weapons going and firing in this second quarter.
Yeah, both teams have played good defense in this first 10 minutes of basketball here, and as you say, getting multiple people going, I think, could be the key to this game, as the ball movement's been good offensively from both teams, but because of the challenging defense, you need multiple people on the floor who can put the ball through the hoop for you.
Absolutely, I think a recent trend in Loughborough's more successful last few games has been the spread of the offense, not just relying on the 3 guys. I think they were probably guilty of doing it early in the season. Riders do get us going at the start of this second quarter. Jimenez looks to feed Jonas.
As we see here, down to 4 seconds on the shot clock, the ball just entered the paint for the first time.
Bilak gets his man in the air, gets a shot off. Can't find the rim. Sorry, correction, Liam Johnson gets it off. Can't find the ring.
Yeah, he had to put it up there. The shot clock was going to expire. He did get it off in time, but as you say, Greg, the ball didn't hit the ring itself, and that's why it was a shot clock violation and a sideline possession to restart the play for Bradford.
Rudy Bascom tries no good. Jimenez comes away with the ball under a bit of pressure from Walsh. Johnson. Wild.
I believe Jimenez already with 6 rebounds. As we know, he does fill all the stat categories generally.
Yeah, a rare carry is called against Greg Wild. Don't see many of those these days.
No, not at all. He even used the old signal for the carry as well. The official there shows you the experience of the officials today, as I believe the update is actually the double dribble signal now for any dribble violation. I could be mistaken. Let us know in the comments if I've got that right, if there's any referees watching today.
Riders going a bit bigger. Greg Wild checking out for CJ Hayden. Definitely not a straight swap. So a tactical switch from Coach Jaron, making Loughborough a bit bigger. Probably trying to reduce those offensive rebounds as we see Bradford get another one. Johnson in the corner. Diderot. Naduku feeding CJ Hayden inside. Quick drop step. Gets double teamed. Managed to get the ball out to Naduku, who skip past, finds Johnson, lets it fly.
Yeah, Bradford's defense there was smothering on CJ Hayden. When he caught that ball there, I thought that was offensive foul called on the young man from Bradford. The
ball getting sort of lulled in by Carl Jimenez. Jimenez taking the contact. Great stand for his team.
Yeah, great defensive play from Carl Jimenez. I do feel for the young man there, because big men do quite often get penalised when they get physical with guards, but guards quite often get physical with the big players without the same repercussions.
Two Loughborough players not on the same page there. Sulks comes away with the ball, finds Elijah Walsh on the run, not able to get it go. Sulks, a second offensive rebound in the set. Bodies flying everywhere. We'll stay with Loughborough. Sulks unhappy that a foul is not called, but you've got to love the way he's been extremely active in this game so far. He's all over the place.
Yeah, absolutely. And two great defensive possessions from Bradford. Unfortunately, they just haven't been able to, unfortunately for them, I should say, they haven't been able to convert on the offensive end of the floor yet.
Absolutely. Bradford tailing this into a half-court set off, round the back dribble, and shot is no good for Basco, and foul is called on Elijah Walsh. Can't get the ball from Carl Jimenez. Interesting to note that during that exchange, Bradford had made a switch, which had seen top scorer of the day, Lakudis, check out. So it'll be interesting to see how their offense deals without him and the spot that he's provided today. And we see another switch as Ozombor replaced by Fetsky, and Harrison Gamble steps in to replace Aduku, probably trying to match up a little bit more with the experience of Fetsky.
Yeah, I think also just to give another look on the offensive end here, as Loughborough struggled to get the ball inside with CJ Hayden a couple of times in a row, and Bradford forced the turnovers. Harrison just gives a different look. He can go to basket and he can play on the outside.
Off the glass, Gamble a little bit too strong. It gets his own rebound. Smothered by Bradford Dragons defenders who come away with the ball. It's that man against Sulks, although Johnson reads the outlet pass and able to knock it out of bounds to slow down Bradford. And we'll see Lang, the Bradford captain, check back in for Elijah Walsh, who I think has been effective in his minutes on court, brought a lot of energy from the bench.
Yeah, a lot of energy, pushed the pace of the game. He's done a great job. I think heading to the bench, he'd wished he would have made a couple of those layups where he was right at the basket. But
Sulk steps into it.
You know,
rims
it
out.
Happens to the best of us.
Fetsky keeps it alive, finds it, and looks like Cousins must have stepped out of bounds as it's a rider's ball.
I think it's worth noting at this point that Carl's played all 13 minutes available when he's still diving for any loose ball that he can see. So it just shows you the passion and desire and hard work that this young man puts into the game.
I think if it stays as tight as this, we might see Carl Jimenez have to play the full 40 to try and guide Loughborough through this game. Bradford.
Yeah, particularly with the full court pressure from Bradford. Obviously, we've seen all season long that Coach Mark Jarram puts full trust in Carl to bring the ball up, whether he's playing 20 minutes or 40 minutes. He thinks he's got that ability regardless of the press.
Yeah, I think this quarter actually at the moment mirroring the first quarter in that both teams huffing and puffing but not getting much offense going early. Neither team scored yet in this quarter as Hayden travels with the ball.
Yeah, I think a little bit unlucky there. I think, as we say, we're a bit further away from the officials, but it looked like a little bit of a reach that caused the travel to me for CJ Hayden there, but the refs couldn't see it due to the angle, I think. And Bradford may have got away with one on the defensive end there.
And David Walsh back in the game for Bradford. Cousins establishing the offense. Slips but gets the ball to Lang. Gets a high ball screen from Salt. Walsh lets it fly. Shot hits the ring and bounces up, hits the cable, which will be out of bounds. Loughborough ball. Over 3 minutes left, gone in this quarter. Neither team registering a score so far. Someone's coming in, cling film the baskets in the quarter break.
Yeah, you really feel like when a sequence of plays happens, as you say, for approaching 3.5 minutes now, there's a real opportunity for either team that can sort of break the drought to take control of the game, and it'll be interesting to see if Loughborough Riders can do that this time down the floor. I
think Loughborough's response has been to try and get it going, is to hit Hayden inside. Gamble gets his man in the air, finds Johnson, lets it fly, and gets the cling film off the basket, gets Loughborough going and the scoreboard going in this second quarter, nearly 4 minutes in.
Yeah, I think that showed some real poise there from the Loughborough Riders, but also particularly Harrison Gamble. He had a look at the three, he took the dribble, attacked his man, and created a wide open look for his teammate.
Gamble with a head fake again, able to get past his man, loses the dribble, reverses the ball to Jimenez. High ball screen from Hayden. Offensive foul is called against Jimenez. Sulks takes the hit. Foul is called on Carl Jimenez.
I feel like I might have jinxed him on that one by saying that guards sometimes get away with a bit of physicality against bigger players. Maybe the referee heard me.
Maybe so. Maybe trying to level it up. Only Carl's first foul. As both teams making switches, we see Arija and Osobor check back into the game for their respective sides. Walsh sending Cousins away. Gets the ball to Osobor. Lang.
Interestingly, no timeouts from either coach yet, I believe, which does show both coaches' faith in their players to problem solve on the fly and figure out a way to take the lead in this game and take control.
Jimenez finds Arija in transition, sets his feet, lets it fly for 3. Quick 6 points for Loughborough after the slow start. Now 5 minutes through the quarter, Bradford still not score. They will see Lakudis check in as Walsh gets creative attacking the basket. Can't get it to go, but we'll head to the line for 2 shots.
Yeah, a little bit of a circus shot there from the attacking player. Attacked the basket, felt the contact, spun round and threw it up, and actually it wasn't too far off from getting a friendly roll.
No, it looked like it was pretty good. A lot of touch shown there, but just rims out. Lakudis checks in back into the game. Billy Cousins sitting down, and I think from what we've seen so far today, Lakudis has very much been the spark of Bradford's offense. So I'm sure Chris Mellor hopeful that will get Bradford going a little bit in this second quarter, as Walsh scores the first to get Bradford off the mark in this quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you say, first point on the quarter for them has taken nearly 5 minutes, but he's made both from the line, and sometimes all you need is to see the ball go through the hoop to get you going for some players. So be interesting now to see what happens in this next 5 minutes.
A half-court zone press brought by Bradford. Just slows Loughborough's offense right down. Jimenez.
Loughborough in a slightly different set offensively here, and it's worked out beautifully with Jonas getting a nice drive from the left-hand wing, catching it from Carl to finish on the right-hand side of the basket for 2.
Yeah, I think as soon as you're the weak side guy, if you see the defense turn its head, you've got to attack that hole in the middle, and if the pass comes, it's normally going to be an easy basket, as it was right there. Lang for Dragons through his legs. Tax Johnson pulls up. Shot is a little short, but Fetsky grabs the rebound. Fresh 14 for Bradford, finds Walsh on the kick out. Johnson grabbing this rebound.
Again, Loughborough giving away an offensive board, but managed to come back down the floor without conceding any points. Bradford have actually been very good on the offensive board so far, but they haven't been able to convert, unfortunately for them. Ball
movement finds Arija wide open. Shot is long. Both teams fighting for the ball. Walsh picks it up. Lakudis starting the offense for Bradford. See if he can show what he was showing in the first quarter. Finds Fetsky attacking the basket. A little too strong. Rebound falls to Arija. Finds Jonas. Johnson in the corner. 3-point shot rims out. Arija offensive glass gets Johnson cut into the basket for 2. Off the glass.
The Loughborough Riders bench loving that action there, showing the extra effort to get the offensive board and a nice easy layup inside, getting some cries of support from the bench.
Yeah, Loughborough open up the lead to 9. Walsh decides that's too much, cuts it back to 7.
As we said, we had a drought for the best part of 5 minutes. Only 3 baskets well, 2 free throws and 2 baskets, I believe, being scored between both sides, and now we've had a flurry of action in the last 2 minutes. First time out of the game, called by Bradford Dragons, I believe, and both coaches getting an opportunity to talk it over with their players.
Yeah, I think what you say. It's been a slow start to the quarter. Bradford still not scoring huge in this quarter, only gathering the 4 points a quarter, and Coach Mellor obviously wanting to talk with his team how they're going to approach the final 3 minutes of the quarter. I guess you're not too disappointed if you're Bradford, because you've been slow scoring, but equally you've not let Loughborough really get away. It is only a 7-point ball game, and Bradford have a recent history of massive comebacks, so they'll see 7 points as absolutely nothing. I mean, what sort of information are you trying to put to your guys in the Dragons huddle, Dom?
I think they're playing nice basketball. They're playing at a pace that the team feels comfortable with. They've got some good off-ball actions as well as some nice screen actions happening. I think what's really pivotal is that they've only shot 5 from 21 from 2-point field goal attempts, which is only 23% from the field. And you know, if they'd made an extra 5, they'd be looking at 50%, and they'd be up in this game by 3 points. So I think they're happy with the looks. They've just got to execute now and convert a few more.
Yeah, I think one thing that has been really strong for Bradford is their activity on the offensive glass. If they can start converting some of the second chance opportunities that they're getting, they'll be right back in this ball game. Jimenez finding Gamble, cutting straight down the middle.
That was a fantastic pass from Carl there. He just managed to put it in the pocket of space that meant that Harrison Gamble could catch it, but the defender couldn't.
Absolutely, already got 5 points, 5 assists and 9 rebounds. As a Sumble goes up, brings it down strong off the pass.
Well, there you go. Whatever was said in that timeout for Bradford really took effect, because that's a huge energy play coming straight out of the timeout.
Plays like that can really get you going and change the momentum in the game. As Lang, feeding off the energy, takes away the pass, finds Lakudis in transition. Off the glass is no good. Jimenez coming away with it. Yeah. Kick out for Gamble. Ball movement finds Jonas. Hits it for 3. Jonas Diderik gets Loughborough their biggest lead of the game at 13. 2 minutes left to go in this second quarter.
Yeah, scoring really becoming prevalent in the second half of this quarter now. It's important that Bradford get a good look at the basket here, so that this game doesn't get too far away from them. I don't think that would be the look that they were happy with. An air ball from 3 from the young man, who puts his face into his shirt, gives himself a little tap on the head saying, come on, pep talking himself as he walks back on defense.
I'm sure it'll be duck off the water's back, and the next offense he'll go hard again. Once again, Loughborough trying to feed in outside, but Fetsky taking that pass away. Although Loughborough eventually working it into Gamble. Finds Jonas. Steps under his man. Shot is good on the buzzer.
Oh, he's done phenomenally well there to get that shot to go. Composure, pump fake, step past the defender. You know, those are a much more difficult shot than they look.
Because he's trying to find Fetsky in the corner, but hitting the stanchion of the basket. Goes out of bounds, Loughborough ball.
Those types of plays that we just saw from Loughborough Riders are really important when it comes to basketball, because it's not only 2 points, but it's also a little bit demoralizing for the defense, who thought they were probably going to get a 24-second shot clock violation, and then literally as the shot clock expires, the shot bobbles around and manages to drop in for 2. A little bit deflating there for the defense.
Lakudis caught with his hand firmly in the cookie jar. Be Riders' sideline ball.
An ambitious turn to the official and request for a jump ball call there that the official doesn't accept.
I think it continues with a theme with that no basketball player has ever committed a foul. Carl Jimenez hits for 3, you can't leave him open.
And here we go, we see that 3-point shooting really becoming prevalent in this first half. Loughborough shooting 7 from 15, or that might be 8 from 16 actually.
I feel like we're already on triple-double watch for Carl Jimenez as he grabs his 10th rebound of the game to tick that one off.
Yeah, absolutely, already in double digits on rebounds.
Bilak, 3 more.
Oh, whatever Mark Jaram said in that timeout, something's happened, because Loughborough Riders don't seem to be able to miss right now from outside.
Really slows it down.
And as you say, Bradford looking at that 7 points probably as if it's nothing, but right now 18 is perhaps a little bit more of a hill to climb here in this basketball game.
Osborne slowing it down, going to a nice move around the basket, heads to the line for 2 shots. Of course, Bradford Dragons recently coming back against Derby by 32 points and still down 19 at the start of that 4th quarter, so they won't see this as unsurmountable. As Asumba gets the first. Not able to make the second. Jonas chasing down the rebound under pressure from Fetsky. Jimenez looking to ahead, finds Bilak, gets it off, hits a 3 on the buzzer!
Unbelievable three-point shot from Joe Bilak there. And another assist for Carl Jimenez, who looks like he may have picked up a knock, but he's walking himself to the bench. Loughborough Riders bench erupting with joy after that three-point shot that was almost an alley-oop three, you'd say. I mean, his feet were on the ground, but the ball was barely in his hands for half a second, I imagine.
Can't imagine Bilak even looked at the ring before he let that go. Not much time, gets it off, and I think just hope for the best, and the best happened. Hopefully he's buying a lottery ticket on the way home, but it gets Loughborough's lead out to 20 points. 48 for Loughborough, 28 for Bradford. Bradford only scoring 7 points in the quarter. As I said, Bradford have a recent history of overturning bigger deficits than this, but the way that quarter ended, you've got to be a little bit deflated by that. Loughborough flying into the locker room at half time.
Yeah, absolutely, Greg. And as we say, just a three-point shooting explosion in the second half of that second quarter for the Loughborough Riders. They've made 10 threes in this first half, shooting a phenomenal 55% from behind the arc. But I believe 5 of those threes came in the last 5 minutes, Greg.
Absolutely, the cling film well and truly coming off the ring eventually. Yeah, Carl Jimenez already on triple-double watch for him already. He's played the full 20 minutes, but he's got 8 points, he's got 10 rebounds, and he's got 7 assists. So the guy, we've only completed a half, he's 2 points and 3 assists from a triple-double already. So I think, you know, depending on what that knock was like at the end of the quarter, I'm pretty confident we're probably going to see another triple-double notched up for Carl Jimenez, which, yeah, it seems phenomenal that we're almost taking it for granted. That's what his levels have been all season, which is incredible to stay. Yeah, Loughborough really flying away in the second half of that second quarter. It took us 5 minutes pretty much to get going, and yeah, winning the quarter 26-7. So yeah, able to score more than they did in the first quarter, and that just came in a barrel load of threes at the end, like you say. Both teams looking to make adjustments at half-time, we feel. What sort of adjustments are you expecting to see from both teams, Dom?
Well, I think Loughborough Riders will be very happy with that last 5 minutes. I think that maybe what we saw was them just being patient and really looking for those looks, and they were taking good shots all quarter long, but we just saw the difference between some of them not dropping and then the second half seeing them convert. For Bradford, I think they'll be disappointed being down 20 points at the half. I think they've put together a quite solid 20 minutes of basketball, if I'm honest. However, obviously their percentages just aren't where they'd like them to be. And we see the issue of collapsing on that inside. They've been doing a great job down low on the likes of CJ Hayden and Harrison Gamble inside, and even Victor Nduku, but when Loughborough are shooting the ball so well from outside, the problem is if you commit to the paint, someone's going to be open on the perimeter more times than not, and as we've seen, Loughborough have been able to punish them there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one thing we mentioned was that we felt that Bradford Dragons were grabbing a number of offensive rebounds, and they've grabbed 6, but for no second chance points, which when you're working so hard on the offensive glass, you're probably not reaping the rewards. So I'm sure that'll be something that probably Coach Mello will be talking to his team. Maybe a little bit more composure and execution in on the offensive end, but yeah, equally Loughborough, we want to be taking those second chance opportunities away as much as it's not hurting them so far. Anyway, that's it for our first half. Me and Dom are going to take a break here. We will be back live from Loughborough University for the second half, so grab yourself a drink and sit with us through the action. This game is far from over, and there could be plenty of twists and turns left, so make sure you join us in around 11 minutes time. Welcome back to Loughborough University Netball Centre here at Loughborough University for our NBL Division 1 action. Loughborough Riders, the hometown team, leading here at halfway. Loughborough Riders 48, Bradford Dragons 28, and a high-scoring second half of that second quarter to get Loughborough up to their biggest lead of the game as we stand here at half-time. Bradford Dragons will be looking to turn that around, and as I say, have history of coming back from more than this. So yeah, we'll definitely be confident that they can pull it off. Yeah, Dragons will get us going. I mean, Don, what are your thoughts going into the third quarter?
Yeah, I think bench scoring was a huge factor in that first half, with Loughborough's bench contributing 21 points and Bradford's only contributing 7. So I think they'll want to get a few more players going, Bradford, and I think they're taking good shots. We were discussing in that halftime break how the coach seems positive. He just got the guys out on the floor to put up shots for that whole break, and I think he's happy with the shots they're taking predominantly, but the percentages just aren't where they need to be winning a Division 1 basketball game right now.
Yeah, I mean, straight out of the gate, two good offenses for Bradford, shots you would want to take, not converting on either, but was Oysterborg getting on the ground for his team, grabbing the offensive rebound, keeping it alive. Dragons another second chance opportunity, puts it up for 3, a little long. 7th offensive rebound for Bradford, 7th time they've not got any second chance points, and that is hurting them so far in this ball game.
Yeah, we saw him practicing that exact shot from the top of the circle on the 3, but being one of their biggest players, not just height-wise, but also, you know, he's thick-set, solid guy. I'd like to see him get inside and try and play a little bit of bully ball near the basket to get Bradford going in the second half. Yeah,
when he's been aggressive around the basket, tough to stop. And at the other end, Gamble trying to go inside, fouled by Sulks. Riders baseline possession. Jimenez 2 inbound. Finds Gamble. Can't keep the handle of the ball, loses it. Regent Buscombe coming up with it for Dragons. Now we've got the ball with Lykoudis. Going underneath, kick out, finds Sulks. Lykoudis puts it up. 3-point attempt, no good once again for Bradford. Rebounded Gamble.
Second half starting with a little bit of a slower pace to the game here. Both teams opting to go into some half-court sets to try and get some looks at the basket.
Ball coming off Sulk's feet will be shot clock will be reset to 14, and Loughborough get the ball from the baseline once again. A couple of 3-point misses in a row for Bradford, struggling from behind 3, only shooting 28% so far today. On the other hand, Jonas Diderik improving on Loughborough's 55% behind the 3-point line.
Yeah, unbelievable shooting from Loughborough Riders so far from behind the arc, and I have to say, if they can keep this going all afternoon, then Bradford Dragons are going to be in with a tough afternoon.
Sulks, great move in the basket, sized his man up, span away from him, finishing off the glass for 2, gets Bradford going.
Yeah, some beautiful body control to be able to spin and maintain your balance, find the hoop and lay it in off the glass softly.
Gamble under pressure from Fetsky. Goes one way then the other. Door team comes, kick out, Hayden puts it up for 3. Don't see many of those shots again.
No, yeah, got stuck with it there. I think Harrison tried to back down and said, actually, here you go, you have a go.
Lykoudis splits the defense, drops off to Sulks, who will head to the line for 2 shots. Bradford looking so much more dangerous when they're committing to attacking the basket.
Yeah, absolutely. When they move with a purpose and attack the basket, you wouldn't think that this was a 20-point ball game whatsoever. And I think for them to get back into this game, this is the tactic. They've got to be aggressive, they've got to attack the boards, and as we see, he's got a chance to earn 2 more from the line.
I think Bradford's best chances so far have been inside, as Sulks makes the first. But when the deficit is this sort of size, it's got to start on the defensive end. You have to get stops. You can't afford to trade baskets, otherwise time will ebb away and you're just not cutting into the 20-point lead. Second short for Sulks.
No time to be passive whatsoever when you're down 20 with only 17 minutes on the clock. Like you say, Greg, 1 possession at a time, but it's got to start on the defensive end. Get some stops and start converting those stops on the offensive end of the floor.
Ball movement from Loughborough, Jimenez. 6-inch head fake, goes past his man, spins, gets the ball to Arija. Shot is no good. Jimenez gets the ball back, finds Gamble, gets his man in the air, goes all the way to the basket. Off the glass is no good for Gamble, as Hayden tips the ball to Jonas. A third opportunity for Loughborough. And Gamble obliges for 3. Off the fine from Carl Jimenez, another assist for that guy. Triple-double watch is live.
Yeah, great shot there from Harrison, but all credit to CJ Hayden, who gave Loughborough, not just 1 but 2 additional looks at the basket, once with the rebound and once with the tip rebound out to his teammate.
Bradford replying with 2 of their own, puts it back to a 21-point ball game. Gamble feeds Jimenez, gets his man in the air, finds Hayden. Pass is tipped away by Lakudis, can't get it to Hayden. Regent Boscombe attacks the baseline. Sober taking all his aggression out on the basket that time.
Yeah, there you go. I think that was a little bit of frustration being let out from the young man there with some of his other
Hayden
shots.
Gets him at the other end and gets him to foul him. Looks like a foul from here as he wanted to swat the ball and got a lot of Hayden. Sends Hayden to the line.
Yeah, I think perhaps that's showing his youth a little bit, not meant in an insulting way, but the excitement of the big 2-hand flush on the offensive end meant that he was hungry to try and bring that same energy on the defense, and left his feet, and CJ Hayden with the smart up fake, stepped through, drew the contact, and let's see if he can knock down his second free throw. Yeah,
I think the adrenaline pumping there for Osowa. Got the big dunk at one end, thought if he could follow up with a big block that it would get Bradford flying with momentum. But Hayden, able to punish him with 1 from the line, gets it to a 20-point ball game. Fetsky calling for
a little bit of a miscommunication there, it looks like, from Bradford Dragons. The player thought it was a handoff, but
quick first step, put up shot is short by Lakudis.
And another rebound for Carl Jimenez.
Finds Gamble for another Jimenez assist.
I mean, I don't think there's anyone on this team you want to be leaving open right now, but it's certainly not Harrison Gamble. Even though that's only his second 3-pointer, the whole league should know what he can do from the outside.
Absolutely. Extends it to 23. Bradford setting up. Boscombe not able to hit the 3-point shot, and Bradford's 3-point struggles continue. Jimenez.
See the defense there, trying to give Harrison Gamble no room to breathe when he caught the ball on the 3-point line that time. Oh, from deep, Carl Jimenez lets it fly. Another offensive rebound from CJ Hayden.
Jimenez drops off to CJ Hayden. Thank you very much, sir.
What a pass, no look behind the back dime, as casual as you like from Carl Jimenez, that gives CJ Hayden the wide open 2-hand dunk inside.
Lakudis doing it tough at the other end. Finishes through the contact, will head to the line for 1 more. That of course gets Jimenez his 10th assist, only 2 points short of his triple-double.
As you said, Greg, Lakudis seems to be the only person really getting going here for Bradford Dragons. They've had a couple contribute, but they need a few more. Loughborough already with multiple players in double digits. It's important that Bradford find the firepower to match right now, otherwise it's going to be a tough old ask to come back from 22 points down.
Makes the free throw and will sit down, replaced by David Walsh. Yeah, I think need to find a bit of extra firepower, but they've got to slow this Loughborough team down, which won't be easy, as Loughborough have made a double switch and have only brought in the hot hand Belak and Liam Johnson, so it's not going to get any easier for Bradford at the defensive end. Gamble sizes his man up, puts it up. Shot is no good, rebounded by Walsh. Finds Lang in front, drops off to Walsh. On the run, off the glass is no good. Gamble grabs the rebound.
Yeah, Joe Bilak coming back into the game, leading the team in scoring in just shy of 8 minutes of action. Shows you his efficiency on the offensive end of the floor right now.
Jimenez will go to the line for 2 shots. An opportunity if he makes 2 to get up to the triple-double with nearly 4 minutes left in the third quarter. As Carl Natifo checks in, giving Harrison Gamble a rest. A man on his hunt for his own double-double. Correction, it'll actually be CJ Hayden that checks out.
Greg Osselberg picking up his 3rd foul there, I believe, on the drive from Carl Jimenez. So that's quite an important factor for Bradford to watch. Looks like a substitution is coming to the bench. We'll see who that is for.
Jimenez makes the first. And makes a second. And that's a triple-double here for Carl Jimenez. 3:52 left in the 3rd quarter. What an efficient performance to already have ticked that off so far. Fantastic for Carl Jimenez. And we'll see Edvards Gutmanis check in for the first time for Bradford. Actually, might be a guy that can reverse the three-point fortunes a little bit today. A 40% shooter on the season from 3. We'll see if he can get it cooking. Walsh. Lang. Quick first attack in the middle. Spins, great move. Can't get the finish.
That's what we were talking about in that first half, Greg. They're getting good looks at the basket, but just not getting it to drop.
Belak missing, which feels weird today. Natifo fighting hard on the glass, puts it back in. Soft touch from Carl Natifo.
And there you go, that's the difference. The offensive board there being converted for those second chance points by Loughborough, which unfortunately Bradford have not been able to do for themselves.
Asoba working in areas that he's strong in, not able to get it to go. But I think the last 2 offensive possessions for Bradford Dragons haven't been bad offense. They're players you want in areas you would want them to be, just not able to execute.
No, and unfortunately the time's not on their side. We're inside the last 3 minutes of the 3rd. And
double pump pass, finds out Liam Johnson, rims out. So just grabs the rebound himself, as he often does. Scoop pass, finds Belak, lets it fly. For 3, Joe Belak.
Joe Belak really feeling himself right now. He had nothing else in his mind other than letting that shot fly, and another great result from him, taking him to 15 points, I believe, on the game. And have those all come from behind the arc?
I think probably so. Trying to... Asoba goes to basket, exactly where you want him to be, as we said before. So strong around the basket. Will head to the line for an opportunity to score one more. Jimenez, after earning his triple-double, will get his first rest of the ball game, replaced by Greg Wild.
Yeah, as you say, checking out of the game, the comfortable 27-point lead. Carl Jimenez gets his first break. Shows you his importance to this squad. But when you've got a player like Greg Wild to come in and replace him, I mean, it's still a tough cover for Bradford.
Yeah, Osseville starting to get it going for Bradford. Finishing off 3-point lay. Wild in the corner, attacks the baseline. Managed to get the pass out to Belak, but not able to get it to go from the corner. Probably found himself a little bit behind the backboard that time. Not able to get it to go.
Yeah, tough angle, especially being the right-hand shooter on the left
kicks out.
side.
Nice shot is short, but Sobel grabs the rebound. Oh! I thought we were going to see another highlight play, but it rims out. Be Loughborough ball, and quite lucky for Loughborough that didn't go down.
Yeah. Be interesting to see what the coach has to say about that one to him after the game. You know, dunks are great and emphatic and they're huge energy plays, but as a coach you sometimes just want to see the players lay it in.
Latifo, ball is stripped away. But Latifo getting on the floor for his team, but Captain Lang keeping it for Bradford.
Bradford showing that they've still got fight in them though with that defensive possession. They're still here, even if the scoreboard does indicate a huge deficit. They do.
Walsh, foul is called and he does score the basket, but it's not going to count. Foul is called on Riders number 5, Greg Wild, which will be his first personal foul.
Got a 4-line spread on the inbound here. Oh, and a straight turnover from Bradford, I believe. That'll be a backcourt violation.
I think Walsh maybe is trying to pass it off the back of a Loughborough defender to himself there and just missed the man, because there was no Bradford player anywhere near where the pass went.
No, and it looked like they were completely set up for an inbound play. Usually you'd see a cross screen and then a flare up into the safety position on the 3-point line there, but none of that came.
The lane opened up for Wild, not able to get the pass to Johnson. It will be a Dragons ball. 1 minute 8 left to go in this quarter, and imperative that Bradford Dragons finish this quarter strong so they can have some momentum going into the fourth to try and chip into the deficit.
Yeah, absolutely. Psychologically here, it's not about the scoreboard right now. It's about getting a couple of good looks and hopefully executing those looks to put yourself in the best position possible to be confident coming into the fourth quarter.
Armstrong finds Kamanis. Lang sizes the tifo up. The tifo is called for the foul. Lang will head to the line. And the exact sort of offense you would want to see from Bradford, getting Lang inside and attacking the tifo for his third personal foul.
Yeah, I think you saw Coach Mark Jarram on the sideline there, a little bit disappointed that his player dipped their arms. He did a good job on the defense, moving with the man, contesting the shot. The shot didn't actually drop, but last second attempt to block the shot, I think, led to the foul there.
Potentially a case where the guy didn't necessarily need to go up and block the shot. Just changing it and making him miss might have been worth doing it. But we're under a minute here left in this third quarter. Wild getting the offense going for Loughborough. Puts it up, rims out, Gamble grabbing the rebound. Bielak gets the ball to Gamble, who hits for three. Harrison Gamble.
Harrison Gamble has just ignited this quarter. I think he's 3 for 3 from behind the arc this quarter, and I mean, if you're Bradford, you just don't want to see those shots going in.
Sober attacking strong in the middle, gets to his spot, puts it off the glass for two. Great move from great Osoba, but not intended.
That's the sort of confidence play, hopefully, that will get him going for this fourth quarter to try and create something for his team.
4.2 seconds left in the third quarter. Ball is tipped by a Dragon hand. Will be Riders inbound.
Coach Mark Jarram's made a call of some play to his players. Let's see if they can execute.
Wild gets it, puts it up, gets it off in time. Will hit for three. Greg Wild.
An unbelievable shot from the corner. I'm not sure if that even was the play, but he saw his opportunity, got the quick inbounds, relocated, got it back, fading away even, and nothing but net. And that just shows us that metric that we were discussing, three-point shooting. If we look at a comparison between the two teams, Loughborough have made 15 of 30 from behind the arc, giving them 50%, but Bradford are only shooting 4 from 17 for 23% from behind the arc, and I believe almost all of those came in the first quarter, definitely the first half, but I think 3 or 4 of them in the first quarter, because both teams, as we said, only a 1-point game after the first 10 minutes, but 16 threes, 16 from 31 for Loughborough for 51%. An incredible statistic, really, Greg.
Absolutely, yeah, and if it's not just one guy. I mean, in that play, Greg Wild hit the three, but it was Joe Bielak running the curl at the top, and I thought we were going to see back-to-back buzzer beater quarters from Joe Bielak. Joe Bielak probably going, he said, Greg, why did you steal my buzzer beater, man? But yeah, it's not just one guy. You can't just shut one guy down. It's been Gamble hitting threes, it's been Bielak hitting threes, Wild hitting threes, Jimenez hitting threes, Jonas has got a three, Arija's got a three. Lots of different guys, even Hayden's put one up today. So you can't just shut down one guy in purple. They can hurt you in so many different ways. And when they got people like Carl Natifo inside and CJ Hayden inside grabbing offensive rebounds, if they miss, they're probably just got a good chance of getting it back.
Yeah, absolutely. As you say, 7 Loughborough players scoring at least 1 from behind the arc is a tough statistic to deal with if you're on the opposition end of the floor today.
Victor Duca going strong. We'll head to the line for 2.
Interesting call here. It was called from the official closest to us, who was actually potentially furthest away from the play, but he must have seen something that sends Victor Nduku to the line for 2 free throws.
First shot a little long, 30 points in the fourth quarter. It's going to be a big effort for Bradford to try and to bring this back. If you are Bradford, you probably look at the 30 points. It almost feels unsurmountable at this point. Instead, you're probably looking to break it down into smaller targets along the way and chip into that lead and make it into reachable targets. Zobor handles the ball, going all the way, finishing past the foul from Victor Nduku, who will head to the line for one more. Maybe it's not unsurmountable if they keep him running hard like that. It was almost Giannis-like.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great way to start the quarter. As you say, it is a huge effort from Bradford here to come back from 30 points down, but as you say, players and coaches alike, you can't think of it like that. You've just got to take it one play at a time, and 19 seconds into the quarter, a huge impactful play there from Greater Sober, who now has a chance to get 3 the old-fashioned way.
And makes it count. As Bradford making a switch, we'll see Cousins check back in, Gutman is sitting down. The deficit cut to 28 points, but Bradford hoping it's more of the start of a run. They'll be looking to get a stop here. Natifo inside off the fine from Wild.
Oh, there you go.
For a travelling violation.
That's exactly what you want if you're Bradford. No shot attempt from Loughborough, turnover, and you get an opportunity to go back up the floor and try and convert on the offensive end.
Yeah, Bradford defence really smart. They collapsed. They almost built a wall that Natifo was not able to work around and get a shot off. Led by a Sober again. He's leading his team in this second half. Lang getting up off the glass, will count. Head to the line for one more, and a technical foul is called on riders Greg Wild.
All sorts of action in the first 42 seconds here of the fourth quarter, Greg. And Bradford potentially got their second and one within 20 seconds of each other.
Correct, it looks like the technical foul was called on riders number 10, Carl Natifo, which sees his 4th and 5th fouls in the game. Carl checking out early here. Hayden will check back in. This is exactly the sort of thing you needed if you're Bradford. If you can make the 2 free throws you're going to get, can't make the first. Lang will step up for the second one. But yeah, suddenly momentum is a precious commodity, and if it's with you, the game feels a whole lot easier.
Yeah, interesting one there. The player who got fouled, who's going to take a free throw, didn't take the technical free throw. I guess he is only a 58% free throw shooter, but sometimes you do see them go to the hot hand, as it were, but they didn't that time, but it didn't pay off either.
Maybe they should have stuck with Lang as he makes his foul shot.
Yeah, clearly playing with some confidence, nothing but net there, and suddenly Bradford look alive on defence. We're hearing more communication than we have done for perhaps the last 20 minutes.
The bench also has turned the volume up. They're back into it. 25 points the deficit. Wild. Step back. Foul is called away from the ball on 9 White. Matthew Armstrong. Bradford definitely bringing an extra level of intensity to the defence as Lakudis checks in for Armstrong. Lakudis, Bradford's main scorer in the first half of the ball game, and still top leading scorer in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. If he could have another 16 in this half, that would be ideal for Bradford right now.
Bilak finds Hayden as time's expiring, loses the handle, denied by Elijah Walsh, and Lang able to get his hand on the ball as the shot clock expires. A big defensive stand for Bradford Daggons.
Yeah, you see how much that defensive stop meant to the team. Most of the bench erupting onto their feet with applause for their teammates' effort, acknowledging that they still firmly believe that they can be in this ball game.
And Coach Jarram's had enough of that sort of energy, calls a timeout, wants to slow things down and try and break the momentum that Bradford have built with a timeout for Loughborough, really trying to stop this run. But I feel it's the first time we've seen real intense energy coming out of the Bradford team since possibly the first quarter. It's certainly still coming back, but if they can keep this going, we know it's a game of runs. You get a quick 5, 6, 7 points and you're only just outside 10 points. It's suddenly within striking distance.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's why Coach Mark Jarram's been quite clever here. He saved his timeouts for the fourth as it wasn't needed in the third whatsoever. He's got all 3 and he hasn't been afraid to use one just 1 minute and 15 seconds into this fourth quarter to just steady the troops, you know, get the players even keeled and just say, look guys, this game is far from done. We've got 8 minutes 45 seconds and we need to play until that final buzzer. And I imagine he's reintroduced Jonas Dietrich, or was he already on the floor? I'm unsure of that, but it looks like he's putting out a fairly strong 5 and he'll be hoping for a little bit more composure. See how Bradford
can come out of the timeout. 8:41 left in the ball game. Those at home watching on YouTube, feel free to jump in the comments. Do you think Bradford can chip away and come back, or do you think Loughborough will hold on as a travelling violation is called? Stop for Loughborough.
There you go. Not what Bradford would have wanted, but let's see their energy on defence here. Can they get the stop? Greg Wild bringing the ball up the floor from Loughborough. Two teams here looking for the exact opposite thing to happen. I mean, that sounds almost obvious, but with the energy of the game...
Wild feeds Hayden. Sook's able to double down on him and takes the ball away. Bradford come away, playing with a whole new level of pace as a second travelling violation in a row is called on Billy Cousins.
Yeah, I do have to say, Bradford's defence on the post has been phenomenal today, all game long actually, but right now we're seeing the extra effort and the extra energy, and CJ Hayden has really struggled with that double team. He doesn't seem to be able to get the ball back out of the post once Loughborough get it inside to him.
I think a tactic that Loughborough use on a regular basis is to go inside out and start with the inside, hoping the defence will slacken to open up the array of three-point shooters they've got as they do two finishes at the basket. Bradford trying to take away the second option there when it goes inside, really trying to keep it inside. We've seen it a couple of times, Hayden there and Atifo earlier on. Walsh attacking the middle, off the glass, good for two. A fundamentally sound play.
Yeah, great attack there. Used a little jab step to create a pocket of room, attack that pocket and got all the way to the basket. And another turnover for Loughborough Riders. Some great defence there.
Soaks finds Elijah Walsh finishing at the basket for two. Bradford coming alive. Can they? Can they do this?
I mean, every part of me would have said no before the start of this quarter, but these first 3 minutes, Bradford looked like a different side.
The comeback specialist in the league. Greg Wild puts it up, shot is long. Elijah Wolf skying. Rebound to Belak, doesn't even think about it, lets it fly. Grabs his own rebound.
That's what we have to say. People say you live and die by that three. I know they have been shooting it well today, but I'd like to see some different looks here from Loughborough.
Foul is called. So we're caught with his hands on Wild.
Yeah, unfortunately the way the game's evolved, when I was a junior player, hip checks were definitely part of the game, but now, as you say, if you're caught with the player with the ball, if you're just checking even the distance from him, if he rips through and attacks you, that's going to be called a foul.
A sober fourth personal foul will have to sit down, which is a shame because he's been massive so far in this, well, second half in general, but this fourth quarter. A great replacement to come in though when Bradford's leading scorer on the season, Fetsky, checks in. Loughborough going a bit more experience with Jimenez and Gamble coming in, obviously looking to slow this Bradford attempted fight back. Naduku spins one way, then the other. Tries to get the ball to Gamble, manages to gather it, but Loughborough can't get the shot off. Another stop for Bradford here in the fourth quarter. It is 23 points. There is only 6:32 left, but they're playing with a brand new level of intensity at the defensive end.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Loughborough there obviously will be disappointed with a shot clock violation, but a shot clock violation is still better than an open play turnover for most coaches, because at least you get to get your defense set, and as we saw there, they got a stop and they're back on the offensive end.
Jonas hits for three in the corner. Jonas off another fine
deep
from
two, I think, signalled by the official. I thought his feet were behind that line as well, but either way, Jonas shooting the ball well today.
We've got to get a stop here. Fetsky at the basket. Jonas grabs the rebound. Two shots at the basket in a row for Bradford that hadn't gone, which hurts them with the little time they have left. But that will help. Belak walks with the ball.
Yeah, unfortunately there, he just didn't quite land in a jump stop. He landed in a 1-2 and then pivoted on his second foot. I think he thought he'd landed them together and was allowed that pivot. Referees thought otherwise.
Lykoudis. Sulks. Walsh. Bradford looking to establish the pattern of play. Sulks comes up, sets the high ball screen. He's sent away by Walsh. Round the back dribble, hits his own feet. Lykoudis under shot clock pressure, gets it off, but it is short. Bounces out of bounds. Not that it will matter, because as it didn't hit the ring, it will be a shot clock violation.
Yeah, I think the reintroduction of Carl Jimenez to the game in this fourth quarter does indicate that although they are up by 25, Coach Mark Jerram just said, we need to make sure we close this game out. I thought Carl might have been done for the afternoon, but as we see, he's on the court producing.
Follow-up shot for Gamble, no good. Yeah, Jerram going with Coach Joe going with the 1-2 punch to try and make sure the game. Elijah Walsh, what a move.
I mean, if that's not in his highlight reel tomorrow, I don't know what will be. What a move there on the baseline.
That was a sweet move. Yeah, I think Coach Joe going with the 2 punch. He initially went for the timeout, tried to stop the Bradford intensity, and then eventually went for a couple more experienced heads on the court. Now got his 3 most experienced players all on the court at the same time. Elijah Walsh. Foul is called off the ball on Victor Naduku. Bradford. Baseline ball as Loughborough just bring in another shooter in the form of Chester Morrell. Entering the game for the first time, replacing Joe Belak, who's had a fantastic day's work, if this is the last we see of him today. Lakudis will inbound for Bradford.
Same setup to what they had previously. They get the ball in this time instead of just throwing it straight into the backcourt for a turnover.
Fetsky not able to get it go. A tough night or afternoon for Fetsky. Normally Bradford's leading scorer. Direct. Ball is tipped by Sulks. Active hands on the defense again. Elijah Walsh coming away, puts it up. Sulks grabbing another offensive rebound and gets it to go, puts it back for 2.
Still some great energy from Bradford. I don't know if they all believe. Some players on the bench looking a little disengaged, but the ones on the floor definitely believe that they can still get back into this ball game.
Victor Naduku getting into the basket, off the glass for 2. Great finish. We've had triple-double watch for Cal Jimenez. We're now on double-double watch for Harrison Gamble. Only 1 rebound away from his double-double. Jimenez looks ahead, finds Morrell. Feeds Jonas in the corner. Loughborough slow it down. Clock is, of course, on their side. Although it's 3:30 left to go in the game, you feel that it's probably just about done.
Yeah, I think this is unfortunately one of those age-olds, too little, too late for Bradford. An incredible flurry to begin the 4th quarter, but just too much of a mountain to climb with the deficit coming into the 4th. And we just have to ask, where was this energy all game long, Greg? If they'd played like this ball game could be completely different.
Absolutely, if they'd brought this level from the off. I mean, in the first quarter, we obviously had a very tight ball game. In quarters 2 and 3, the lead ballooned, and they brought it back a little bit at the start of the 4th, but it seems to have stabilised once again as we see Wild not hit the shot that he hit at the end of the 3rd quarter on the same inbound play.
Yeah. Although, as we say, that 3-point shooting is also a huge
Victor
block.
Naduku denying Fetsky at the basket. Riley in the run, travels. Sulks is probably the angriest guy that call was made, as he now won't get a block shot on his stats.
No, and huge recovery though from being the one shooting the ball to chase back on that block from Sulks, even though the travel was called.
One guy that has been extremely active at both ends for the full game, Rihard Sulks. Lakudis. Sober. Walsh plays things out to Bradford. Lang attacking the middle as we've seen so often today. Kick out, finds Lakudis, rims out. Sulks tips it, and eventually rebounded by Chester Morrell. Gamble denied his double-double so far. Wild finds Gamble extremely well to keep the ball alive there. Naduku finds Riley attacking again. Foul is called that time on Sulks.
Yeah, obvious one there. A great cut off the ball by Connor Riley, and he caught the ball inside from a nice pass, but the defender was just late. I think he knew exactly what he was doing there, just reached in, hit the arm, put his hand up immediately to the official to say, yep, that one's on me. Yeah,
you know, if the arm goes up, he knows exactly what he's done. Either that or his teammate's close on 4 fouls and he's trying to get the foul to be called on him. Harrison Gamble checks out, will be stranded on 9 rebounds as Riley gets his first point to the ball game.
I think you're giving away the tricks of the local league trade there, Greg, of sharing the foul count.
Riley makes them both. Well, as we said earlier, no basketball player has ever committed a foul, so you've got to share them around. Lakudis attacking strong. off the glass will count for 2. Lykulis finishing strong as he started the game. Walsh will check out for Bradford, replaced by Goodmanis. Walsh moving slowly across to the bench, probably didn't want to be checked out.
A great play there, as you say, attacking the basket strong, getting the M1 opportunity, and he makes it from the line. Unfortunately, still with a 22-point deficit, I don't think 2 minutes and 10 seconds will be enough. But some real heart from Bradford Dragons being shown here. Unfortunately, I think it has just come down to execution today, with Riders just shooting a much better percentage from the field, even though they have thrown up that air ball there.
Yeah, Liam Johnson 3-point attempt, nowhere near. Sulks. Yeah, I mean, Bradford, like you say, he's shown a lot of heart, a lot of courage, winning the 4th quarter, and at time looked like just maybe there was a slither of hope. As we go back inside to Osoba, who finds Lang on the great pass, finishes for 2. When you've got a big man that can pass out the double team like that, if he can bring the defenders, then hit the open man, that's great basketball.
Yeah, great play there, and I really like the way that Bradford Dragons are playing this right until the end, and coach is coaching it right until the end, getting his some of his younger players on the floor to get them some valuable experience against this Loughborough Riders side. And as we saw there, great Osoba with a beautiful play, finding the cutter back door.
Absolutely, I think you can tell a lot about how the players will play to the end or not, based on their coach's approach. And I think we coached at both ends, still on their feet, still coaching hard. And that will reflect on the on-court play, as Nduka will head to the line for 2 shots.
Yeah, you can see here, Bradford Dragons are even having pep talks with only 1 minute 14 on the clock about what they can do on the defensive end. So this is definitely a learning experience now. They're ignoring the scoreboard and they're just trying to do the best they can each time down the floor on either end.
Nduka makes the first. Absolutely a learning experience. Take it into the next game. Of course, next game for them will be an away trip to the Thames Valley Cavaliers, finalists and runners-up of the Old Lynch Trophy. So a tough away game next for Bradford.
Yeah, absolutely. That will be a tough fixture for them. I was lucky enough to get to see the Old Lynch Trophy final, and Thames Valley Cavaliers are a tough side to play against. Although it'll be interesting if Lewis Champion is back in that squad, having picked up a bit of an ankle injury in the final that he did play on, but he did look like he was hobbling a bit at times, and he is a huge part of that team, so you never know.
So the Thames Valley gifted with a whole host of weapons. Morel can't get it to roll. Nice move, nice shot. At the other end, Gutmanis got his first 3 of the ball game. Osoba spins off the glass, is no good, but will head to the line for 2 shots as he's fouled. Great bit of sportsmanship as Nduka helps him to his feet.
Yeah, 2 players of a very similar age who, will be the hopefully some future stars in this league or above or overseas. Who knows what beholds these young men?
Absolutely, both with a lot of basketball in front of them, both only 18 years old. Sober lining up the first foul shot. Is good.
As you say, Bradford are winning this 4th quarter, even if they're not going to take the ball game. A great performance in these last 10 minutes. Getting the deficit to, unfortunately that free throw doesn't drop, but getting the deficit to 18 points. Unfortunately giving away what I would call an unnecessary foul there, push in the back, which will see Victor Nduka go to the line for 2 more free throws.
I think Sulk's determined to play hard for the full 40, probably over pursuing there. Always a frustrating call when you give up free throw by committing a foul 95 feet away from your own basket.
No, absolutely, when you're in team fouls, that is one of the biggest no-nos. But as you say, it comes from the right intentions.
Nduka makes the first. And makes them both, Victor Nduka.
bringing it back to a 20-point game. I think Bradford will play this possession. They won't take the shot clock violation. Blocking foul called there on Greg Wild, picking up his third.
We'll head to the line for the 2 shots. The referee sort of saying that, we're going to call this right to the end of the ball game, and you have to respect that. Goodis makes the first. I think second rims out. I think one strength for Loughborough, as we spoke about it before the game at the very start of the broadcast, was about how Loughborough it's not just about the main guys, it's about the others. So Loughborough have 4 men scoring double-digit points, and 2 more on 8 points as well, and 40 bench points for Loughborough today.
That's a phenomenal statistic. That's just shy of 50% of their points.
Lykoudis hits for 3, cuts it to a 16-point ball game. Maybe if there was another 5 minutes, Bradford would feel like it's game on.
I think also every single player for Loughborough Ride is getting a chance in the ball game today. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think everyone has seen the floor. And, that's great to see. Mark Jam trusts every single one of his players and gets them all in these ball games. And giving them some valuable experience as the season moves into its latter stages.
Referee's talking about where the ball should be inbound, having a discussion. But ultimately it comes off the fact that Bradford's defence forces the Loughborough turnover. 10.2 seconds left in the ball game. Bradford will inbound. Asoba puts up the 3-point shot, is way short. Morel grabs the rebound and will just hold, or even fling it in his own basket as time expires here at Loughborough University Netball Centre. Loughborough Riders very happy with their day's work, taking a fantastic victory, moving on to 7 wins for the season, and their recent form now going 5 wins in the last 6. Taking the victory here 86-70, built on those middle 2 quarters. The second and third quarter explosion of points just left Bradford too much to do, even though they did win the 4th quarter by 14 points. Riders' next game, they'll be moving on to an away game tomorrow as they travel to the Essex Rebels, so they'll be looking to take momentum from this as both teams signal their respect for each other without the traditional handshakes, with everything that's going on. So lots of positives for Loughborough to take down to Essex tomorrow. If you are Coach Jaron, Dom, what sort of things are you highlighting? We did this well, and we need to take this forward for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I think, as you've already mentioned, Greg, the contribution from the bench was huge for Loughborough Riders today, and he'll be very happy with that. The way they shot the ball from outside, their ball movement, very impressive throughout the game. I'll be honest, from everyone on the team, bench and starters alike. I guess the only area for improvement would be dealing with that double team inside, and maybe a few ill-advised shots, but you can't really complain. Once a team goes up 20, 25 points, it's always going to happen in a ball game. Players are going to be feeling confident, and they're going to take some shots that, as a coach, you might feel like isn't necessarily the best shot available, but they also made some very tough, potentially not coach chosen shots. So he trusts his players, and they've done a great job, and that's a great win to be going into a doubleheader weekend. To start the weekend off like that, they'll be feeling good, and especially being able to rest. Well, I say rest, he still played an enormous number of minutes, but Carl Jimenez playing 31 instead of the full 40, and being able to get in your entire bench to rotate some of your starters. The likes of CJ Hayden playing 17, Jonas 27. Sometimes these guys are playing 30, 35 minutes, so doesn't sound like much, but even saving 5 to 8 minutes on their legs for a doubleheader weekend is important.
Yeah, I think after the first quarter we were probably expecting to see Carl Jimenez for the full 40 minutes. So any rest when you've got to travel to Essex tomorrow is a good one. Essex, another team in that sort of middle part of the league that going into this weekend all have quite similar records. They sort of at the time of speaking are 5-9. So if Loughborough can come out going into the weekend 6-9, come out 8-9, and it starts to move them up towards the higher places of the league, really does help them with the long forecast of heading into the playoffs and the draws that can enable them to have. So yeah, Loughborough really trying to keep that momentum going. They'll travel to Essex tomorrow, as we said, who have won 2 of the past 5 games, coming off a 2-game losing streak losing at home to Reading and away at Worthing. So Loughborough taking in loads of confidence. I mean, if they can shoot that well from 3, they're going to be tough for anybody to stop. So we'll see that tomorrow. And yeah, Bradford moving away to Thames Valley in their next game in the early part of April. But that is all from us here at the Loughborough Netball Centre. The end of our NBL Division 1 action. Your hometown Loughborough Riders taking the win. 86 plays Bradford Dragons 70. And thank you all at home for joining us for today's game.